Requested by J.W. Appel. This is What If the Zetor Sword Was on Earth. Here, Beerus and Rodai Kaioshin went a lot further with their game of hide and seek, to the point of entering the mortal realm, and Earth specifically, when Beerus finally got annoyed enough to seal him, along with the Kaioshin wishing to test themselves, finding more of a reason to keep an eye on Earth. The main change is that Shin remarks there's still the other method when Boo is unleashed, but is given no opportunity to flee, with the change being that he and Kibito fly off to where the Zetor Sword is. When the latter is revived, Goku becomes aware Gohan is there when he releases his ki to pull it out, but his desire for the living to solve their own problems has him tell Gohan to keep at it, as he brings those free to the Shinden once Gohan releases the sword, and focuses on helping the kids, while Gohan and Shin go into the room of spirit and time to have the space and safety to progress further. Things progress the same for Gohan, except that the difference in time has Gohan leave with his potential unleashed around the time Goku is fighting Boo. Goku stops the fight when sensing Gohan's ki, and tells Boo a better opponent will soon face him as he goes to Gohan, while Boo gets rid of Babidi. Goku tells Gohan that Boo doesn't seem as evil as he thought, and with the huge difference in power, Gohan may be able to pacify him. Gohan goes to fight Boo after Goku leaves the mortal realm and dominates it, while telling Boo he can tell he has been manipulated by his former masters and no longer has to take people's lives, but threatening he will take Boo's life if he refuses to listen to reason. Boo concedes so long as he can fight Gohan whenever he wants, and comes to live on the Shinden, as Enma no longer has a reason to make an exception. Vegeta's soul is then cleansed and reincarnated. Piccolo then goes about tutoring Boo to better hone his ki and emotions, with him starting to make better use of his potential, and cleanse the evil nature within him gradually, much as his teacher had. When Daima occurs, Gohan is still busy studying, but Boo's more refined mindset has him be willing to go to the Makai himself. He attacks the Kempeitai, much as Goku would, when annoyed by them, and the adventure goes the same for a while. With how powerful Boo has become, even his child body is still too strong for Goma, with the battle going far quicker, and him being the one to take out the third eye by splitting himself into mini-Boos to attack the back of his head. Being awarded the position of Daimao, and having awakened Dai Kaioshin's memories to realize his origins as a Glind and Majin, as well as becoming friends with Do and Ku, Boo decides to accept the position, and has Arinsu give Piccolo advice to contact them should they ever need his power. At the 26th Tenkaichi Budokai, Videl enters to defeat her father, when knowing he can't keep the champion title up forever, and he's glad to pass the torch on to her. As for Super, Beerus gets his pudding, before asking about the Super Saiyan God. The Dragon Ball's been used to find out about it, and they're clearly not being enough, as Gohan wished for all pure-hearted Saiyans to be brought to Earth, which brings Tarbell and Broly, with a Trunks far more focused on becoming stronger without his father to rely on, and who went through getting his potential unleashed, becoming the Super Saiyan God, and being tutored by Whis. Broly also requests that his father be brought to Earth from Vampa, with Bulma gathering the Dragon Balls again to do so. The third wish still leaving room for Sorbet to revive Frieza some months later. Broly is able to force Frieza into his golden form, but is put at a disadvantage once he does, until Frieza targets Paragus, Broly instantly crushing Frieza once transforming. It's by this time that Whis becomes aware of Bulma's request, but is unable to get to Earth quick enough to save the Dragon Team. It's at seeing such a powerful foe that Beerus decides to test Broly, and eventually wins through his superior techniques, then requesting Whis bring him to New Namek to revive all the good people to have perished on Earth that day, have a year's supply of pudding, and then a year's supply of instant yakisoba. Broly is then taken to Beerus's planet to learn how to control his power, with Trunks pushing himself to master Super Saiyan Blue to have any chance of catching up. Universe 7's team against Universe 6 ends up being Trunks, Trunks, Broly, Piccolo, Goten, and Monaka. Goten getting his potential unleashed during the prep time for it, and Beerus shutting down Piccolo's notion of recruiting Boo, when scouting from the Makai could convince Champa to either call it cheating or scout other universes himself if he learns of it. Broly goes first, and after he, Piccolo, and Goten are taken out by Frost's needles, Trunks sweeps through the rest. Zamasu thereby becomes Trunks Black, with the next change coming when present Trunks faces him in the future, though far stronger than Rosé. Trunks' attacks cause Black to get used to his body far quicker, and soon surpasses him after Zamasu's healing awakens more of his Saiyan power. Future Trunks using the Taioken to escape as they flee to the past. Piccolo tells them of the Mafuba, with future Trunks learning it to seal Zamasu, while present Trunks pushes himself in the Room of Spirit and Time with Goten to achieve power to fight Black, eventually evolving his blue form. Goten tries his best to catch up, with both using fusion to oppose Black, so he won't be able to adapt so easily. Gotenks humiliates Black, but not being aware of Blue reducing their fusion time has it end before they can win. It is enough time though for Zamasu to be sealed, with both Trunkses transferring all their ki to Goten for him to defeat Black with a Kamehameha to save the future. When returning back to his world, Trunks is then informed by Dende of Vegeta's reincarnation into a boy called Tajibe. Zenar eventually learns of Universe 7 and 10 interacting a bit, which makes him more impatient to see the universes fight. The tournament of power happening at the same time as usual. A difference before it though is Trunks easily defeats Toppo during the exhibition, which has him very concerned that if Jiren can shoulder the burden of facing Universe 7, as well as if his own sense of justice is so great. Universe 7's team ends up being Trunks, Goten, Broly, Piccolo, Gohan, 17, 18, Kuririn, Tenshinhan, and Muten Roshi. Quickly into it, Toppo achieves the Hakaishin mode, but is quickly brushed aside by Trunks, who goes on to challenge Jiren. Vastly stronger than his father would be with his great potential, Trunks is able to pressure Jiren, whose defeat becomes inevitable when Broly shows off his mastery of his version of Super Saiyan. This moment of relaxation does have Trunks and Broly be knocked out of the ring by Damon, but his presence being revealed saves Piccolo from the same fate. 17, Gohan, and Goten thereby become Universe 7's powerhouses, and the latter two adapt quick enough that Gohan tie-in with Kefla decides it, with the other universes being revived. When the Gammas appear, Piccolo still hides from Gamma 2, so he can infiltrate Red Pharmaceuticals, with Trunks, Goten, and Broly being on Beerus' planet. The events of Super Hero thereby going the same, regardless of Super. Trunks enters the 29th Tenkaichi Budokai to face and tutor Tajibe in age 788, Vegeta not being as pure as Boo, having the reincarnation take longer. When Pilaf is caught by Trunks the next year in GT, he blurts out that he wishes people like Trunks and Goku could no longer stop him, with Ultimate Shenlong viewing the common factor as Saiyan DNA, with Trunks being made helpless facing Pilaf, and Tajibe having to intervene, before Trunks goes into space with only Tajibe and a stowaway Pan. Far stronger than usual, Trunks has no issue with Regik, defeats Lude with Pan's help, and gets rid of the Mega Cannon Sigma, but quickly lets Rild turn him into metal so they can infiltrate Mew's lab. Events then go the same, beyond Trunks being too smart and strong for Baby to cut him on Pital, until Baby takes over Gohan's body, where Piccolo and Boo oppose him. Both having sparred with each other for many years, they are on a level where Baby can't even scratch them, with Boo liquefying himself to go inside Gohan and pull Baby out, removing the eggs in the process. Boo then turns Baby into chocolate. Piccolo destroys it when not wanting to risk any weird side effects of Boo eating him. The ultimate Dragon Balls soon being sealed away. When Trunks encounters 17, he's far too strong for 17 to handle. He was destroyed when it becomes apparent there's no reasoning with him. As such, Mew and Gero's plans fail before they can begin, and no reason to use the Dragon Balls or their minus energy being boosted by the dimensional rift prevents the evil dragons from emerging. Then they're deactivating them some years later, when Rodai Kaioshin elaborates on them further. As for Piccolo and Boo, their longevity has them eventually tutor a boy similar to the one who brought both down a benevolent path, both thankful for an opportunity created all thanks to a hidden treasure on Earth. It's here we see how such an integral plot device of the Boo Arc, not separating Gohan from the plot for long, would drastically affect the story. Thank you for watching through this What If. Request one in the comments, like and subscribe, and if wanting to see another involving the Boo Arc being sent off the rails, see this one on future Trunks participating in it.